Hello. Hello, hello. Good evening, Atto. Hello, Bruno. I think that means we're live, doesn't it? Good evening, Ross. Gone for a slightly different setup today. You're going to have my face nice and large. Good evening, Robert. How are you? How are we all? Is everyone okay? Everyone good? Everybody having a lovely time? How's the sound? Is everything working out alright? Good morning, Rez. I know it's still the evening for you too. Unless you've gone overseas and I don't know about it. Hello, Mikey's Wargaming. Good evening, Ali Reed. Oh, a nice refreshing cola drink. That hits the spot. I am very well, thank you. Good evening, Philip Eagles. Oh, happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Warhipster YouTube streaming day. It's that time of the week. You get me. Like I said, we're going for a slightly new format. Rather than having me all tiny down there, we're going to have me quite large, and then we can paint here. So you'll be able to see all of it. And that's because we're going to be spending the first few minutes? Let's say half an hour. The first half an hour, 40 minutes. Talking about Warhammer Plus. Yes, that's right. We're going to be talking about Warhammer Plus. And we're going to do something that I don't think, at least as far as I can tell on YouTube, anyone else has done. We're going to be really positive about Warhammer Plus. We're explaining Warhammer Plus. We're going to be talking about how good it is. There's a couple of things that are a little bit annoying about it. Just like nitpicks. But we're going to be talking about Warhammer Plus. But before we do, I just want to ask the chat, really, what they think of it. What you think of it. If you've signed up, if you haven't signed up, we're going to talk. Well, literally what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what you get for Warhammer Plus. Because, like, I know a bunch of people have gone online and said it's just animations. It's not. There's tons of stuff you get. And we're going to be just talking about literally what the features are of Warhammer Plus. Because, again, something that I don't think a bunch of people really understand about it. What it is. If it's something that you're interested in, then by all means, absolutely sign up. And if you sign up today, before midnight, you get a £10 voucher in October. Excuse me. Reza with your naughty words. I'm going to show your message because you're swearing. I had to approve your message. Louise is an insane painter. Let effing hell. Because, you know, I try not to swear until at least past 9 o'clock, because that's the that was the prearranged that's the watershed. So, Warhammer Plus. I'm planning on getting it, but last time I checked, the GW service had tanked, so I figured I'd leave it a week. That's fair. It was very popular initially when it signed up. Sign up was sad there's no AOS app. The AOS app is coming. It's my understanding that the AOS app will come at the same time as the Stormcast and Beast... what are they called? Cruel Boys. Well, no, Oryx. The Oryx battle tome. It's my understanding that when those are announced, the app will be announced as well. So if the Stormcast and the Oryx battle tome does drop in September, the app will be there in September. That is the theory. We are also, just as a thing, we are going to... I know I said that we would finally paint some Beast Snaggas, probably. We are actually going to paint some Beast Snaggas because I got them all built and primed. So that's exciting. So we're actually painting the Beast Snaggas now, rather than building the same 10 boys over and over again. I am planning on getting it, but last time... Oh yeah, we've done that. Not going to lie, thumbnail for the stream looks like Josh topless with tribal tattoos. Well, I am. I am wearing a t-shirt, but underneath this, I have this exact thing tattooed on my torso. One day I'll show you. Haven't signed up yet, waiting for some balanced feedback. Well, here we go. We're going to do some balanced feedback of Warhammer Plus. That's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to give you the lowdown straight away. What do you get with Warhammer Plus? You get a lot. You get a lot. You get a lot of stuff. Now, one of the things that I think has mostly been talked about with Warhammer Plus is the animations. And I think a lot of focus has been put on that, and I don't think that's fair. Because whilst that is a big part of what Warhammer Plus is, it's kind of like a flagship product of it. There's actually something in there for everybody who's not really into Warhammer animations, not just Warhammer animations, but for me, animations are, as a medium, okay. Like, I consume a lot of TV. I can tell you the ones I've watched in terms of animations. I've watched Castlevania, and I'm watching Marvel's What If. And there was something about Resident Evil that I watched on Netflix. That's it. It's not something that I'm not a manga guy. I watched a lot of cartoons as a kid, but I was a kid. I'm not a manga guy. I'm not that kind of thing. That's just not what I'm into. But I always look at them, whenever I see something cool come out, I always watch it, something like Astartes or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool imagining of something that I have a lot of investment in. And that's one part, just one part of Warhammer Plus. Games Workshop did make a big deal of it, but what they also did talk about is they talked about some of the other features, and some of the other features are that you get things like, you get things. Hello, Katara. No, Ben's right. Like, I think the animations is the one that carried the most. Let's say airtime. We'll go with that. Like, it was a big thing, and but to be fair, I think, like, again, it's one of GW's things, isn't it, where they talk about the thing, and then there's actually a load of other cool stuff on there that was talked about, but isn't something that you can necessarily, like, carry, like, a, what do you call them? Preview. So we had, like, the Storyforge preview, which was a bunch of stuff with the animations, and it's very difficult to do an hour-long preview about the archive. But the archive's really good, guys. It's really, really, really good. Inside that archive, there are, just to name 3 publications that I can remember off the top of my head, there is the Gathering Storm, all 3 of them, for all Acadia, Fracture of Baeltan, and the Rise of the Primarch. Now, all 3 of those books are what kicked off this version of 40k that you're currently consuming right now, if you're a 9th edition fan. This rule set is a build off of 8th, and the Gathering Storm is what led us to this new style of Warhammer. I kind of call it like a bit of a rebirth. Like how AOS was a rebirth for fantasy. It was completely different, but like, it's that kind of thing. Now, those books are fabulous if you want to read up just on like history, like when Gilliman actually first walked again. It's great, Dark Imperium, the novel, covers it a bit, but to subscribe to Warhammer Plus, you can read that. Philip Eagles has also mentioned you do get a bunch of old white dwarfs. Now, I think last time I looked, there was about 10, 12 old issues of White Dwarf on there, which is really great. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in the archive. Now that's a big deal, and that is going to only grow. That's going to grow. There's going to be more and more stuff that gets added on there. So there'll be stuff that's less recent, I'm led to believe. So you'll see the kind of even older, kind of old campaign books, and even older like White Dwarfs. And actually, to be honest with the archive, the sky's the limit. You'll see so much stuff on there. Just that in itself makes it worth it. It's $4.99, and you get access to all of that stuff. If you missed out, and I know it's not fair to talk about it in terms of recommended retail price, but if you missed out at the time on any of the Gathering Storm books, you didn't pick them up, but you wanted to read them, and the only way to read them now is to pirate them. I would never condone that, but you know, if you wanted to own them or read them or just look at them as the thing you're saying, you know, like, it's worth it for that. The books were 20 quid new. It's $3.99. $3.99? $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month? $4.99 a month. Or $49.99 a year, which is cheaper than $4.99 a month for a year. It's $10 cheaper. So the archive is one thing. The other thing is, if you play Warhammer and you're subscribed to the Warhammer app, the 40k app, it's rolled in. That's already half of what you were paying, pretty much. AOS as well. If you play both game systems, you get both of those. It's rolled in. You know, it at this point, before animations, you've already got your money's worth, right? Now, I know not everybody plays the game, obviously. Not everybody plays Age of Sigmar, and not everybody plays Warhammer 40,000. Some people play both. So for someone like me who plays both, it's an absolute steal. I've paid for Azir for over a year. You know? Well, 2 years. I've paid for Azir for ages. And it's literally not gonna... It's not gonna, you know... It's no skin off my nose. In fact, I've paid for Azir, and I've been paying for the Warhammer 40k app. And I have paid for Battlescribe in the past. All of that rolled in, it's already the same money. So I've saved money there. Then we go on to the video content. Now, I've been crying out for Games Workshop to surprise me with their painting content. Because their painting content is great. Their how to paint, you know, stuff that, you know, Nick and Peachy and Duncan, you know, used to do. That stuff's great. And I would, other than my own stuff, I would recommend people watch that all of the time. Like, if there was just one colour that you're just like, I just want to know how to do it classic method, they've got it. And quite often, like, when I'm trying to figure out a contrast scheme, I'll watch one of those videos to see what the materials they're using. Now, that painting content is great, but it hasn't been surprising for a very long time. It's like whenever you see like the thing that's like, we're going to be painting red armor of insert X, you know it's going to be Mephiston red, Agrax Earthshade, Evil Sun Scarlet, and then Fire Dragon Bright. You know it's going to be that. Same for if it's like a darker red, you know it's going to be Khorne red, followed by Agrax Earthshade, and then something like Squig Orange, and then, you know, whatever afterwards. You Wild Rider Red, for example. You know that's the content is going to... And that's just me, personally. When I watch the content, I go, okay, what's the base colour they're going to use for that sword, or that mirror, or that thing? And as soon as I know that, I know what the method's going to be from that point. Because I've watched so much of that content, it's very familiar. Now, as part of Warhammer Plus, you get those masterclasses, which just take it to the next level. You know, they are. It is surprising painting content from a very established style of doing painting content. You see, it goes into stuff that, you know, if that's what you want to do, then it's there. And actually, it's just useful watching it for the theory. You know, I watched, you know, I've watched Louise's video on how to paint faces, and I was like, yeah, I mean, she's codified a little bit of it for it, but you know, like I was like, yeah, this is fascinating stuff. This is great. You know, like the graphic, I was like, oh, that's so useful. I wish I could. I think I did. I just screenshotted it, and I've got it here somewhere, just so I can just like refer back to it at times. I really loved that. I thought that was really original. And if we're gonna get more of that kind of thing, it sounds like I'm shooting myself in the foot a little bit here, because I'm the kind of person, like, obviously I'm a painter on Warhammer. I'm a painter on YouTube, and I like to teach you guys how to do things. Now, I obviously use contrast paints, which is somewhat different to what they've done. I'm hoping they don't do how to use, you know, contrast paints and it's better than what I do. But, you know, if they do, great. You know, I mean, everyone always does, you know, stuff. There's always someone who does. I'm not perfect, you know. Like, people ask me, like, you know, things like that, and I'll say, you know, Juan Hidalgo, he's a much better, you know, he takes his models to that absolute next level. Mine is, you know, mine's very good, but Juan just goes to that absolutely next level. But he does something different to me. He uses a lot of contrast paints for a lot of stuff. He pushes contrast with their power. I start with contrast and move forward. Now, if Warhammer TV does that, fantastic. Because, you know, the more people buying contrast paints and then trying to find specific videos on how to paint miniatures, that's great for me, because they'll find my channel. That's wonderful. But the question I would put to a lot of people is, if you've ever paid, like, you know, again, I don't want to bash on anyone. If you've ever paid, like, Siege Studios, like, whatever it is for their painting course, if Games Workshop is now showing you with their range as well, which is the most important thing, like with their range of paints, if they're showing you how to get that even next thing, like it's fantastic. It's a huge tool to have at your disposal if you're using Citadel layer base and layer paints. So from my perspective, I think it's fantastic. Because I get to learn a lot of stuff, and then I can convert it into contrast painting stuff for you guys, and then you can come and sub to me as well. The battle reports. Everybody loves battle reports. And do you know what the best thing about the Warhammer Plus battle reports is? The fact that they've got all of the commercial pack. Well, not the commercial pack. They've got the World of Warhammer at their fingertips. They've got... if you haven't watched the battle report on there yet, honestly, the thing that made me so excited watching the Warhammer 40,000 one was, and I think it's him, it might be another one, but they've got Jonathan Keeble narrating who the forces are. They've got one of the, you know, the guys who read us Black Library audiobooks going, the Ultramarines, courage and honor, like describing that kind of thing. That's fantastic. It gets you so hyped for it. Are there some things with the battle reports that will be ironed out? Yeah, of course there are. Like, you know, it's their first two. It's not criticisms though. It's just I'm used to watching a lot of battle report content that's like, you know, like this, giving you like that view like that, and you don't have that on Warhammer Plus currently, but it'll happen. So if you want to get pumped about watching something, or even just getting, you know, that kind of hype for a battle, it's fantastic, and it's just it's perfectly good content to have on in the background. And if they release 2 a week plus a painting masterclass, that would be enough. But no, there's also the animations. Now the animations, for whatever reason, there is a lot of people who are very upset about the animations, and I think a lot of it is misdirected rage that is completely unjustified, in my opinion. Being upset that you have to pay for something that you previously got for free, you didn't really get it for free though, not really. You know, I would like to say at this point, if you were a Warhammer animator before and you've now got a job at Games Workshop, you now have the security to produce stuff, the work that you love. you also now have the security to continue to do other things. You also have a salary. I'm somebody who does Warhammer full time. If I had a huge expense come up, say my house was burgled and I lost everything, that'd be it. I wouldn't be able to make content for you anymore. That's it. End of it. If I lost all my gear, I can't afford to replace it. That would be it. Done. I would have to. I'd have to go back to full-time working in corporate to earn the money to get my gear back, to then do this again. Or I'd have to wait for an insurance payout, which they might not necessarily pay out. I live in a pretty, I don't want to say dicey area, but and I don't mean like the place where I live. The place where I live is lovely and wonderful, but I live in a world where if say I owned the house, say I owned this house and the boiler exploded, that would be it. I wouldn't be able to afford to feed myself. At the moment, I'm doing okay. Now, I know that would be very sad for me, and I think that would be very sad for a bunch of you if there was just no more contrast, no more of my content, no more of my live streams, none of that. That wouldn't happen for months. I'd be gone. I'd be done. I'd be wiped out. It's because I have, money in my bank, and I work on all my commission stuff, and I put out these videos, and we do I beg for money. I ask you guys for money, and for live chats and all that kind of stuff, like super chats and things like that, and because of Patreon and all that kind of thing, that I'm able to keep going. But like I said, if I lost my computers, that would be it. I have no security. Now, if all of these guys now who didn't have that previous security, or didn't have the time, or just were doing it part-time for the love of it, they now get to do it full-time. And you see the quality of the animations that we had before. And let's talk about Astartes, because Astartes is the one that a lot of people point to about how, Astartes was amazing, and it's the thing that's the biggest driver of recruitment for the hobby. And it's not. It's just hot air. But it's a great thing. But he was doing that, part-time, and he achieved that level of quality. He's now doing it full-time. He has the security to do it full-time, and he has the backing to do it full-time, and he's able to push it further and do more with it. How is that not a good thing? And yes, you're paying $4.99 for it now. But are you paying $4.99 for Astartes? Why? There's so much more on the platform. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you, and you miss out on a 15-minute, if that, animation. You don't have to subscribe to Warhammer Plus, you don't, but it's worth it for everything else. And then you get content every Wednesday. Now, we're about to come up on our first Wednesday. This is tomorrow, so we're going to see what that means. Now, if that means we get an archive drop, we get a new episode of animation, maybe 2 episodes of animation, because we started with 4. One would assume that we might get another Angel of Death and maybe another Hammer and Bolter. Maybe. Who knows? But say we get like that, so we get another battle report, and it would be even better if we get a 40k battle report and an AOS battle report. Say we get 2 of those. Two painted, so you get 2 battle reports, 2 episodes of Warhammer Plus, and 1 painting thing. That's 5 videos. That's 1 a day. That feels pretty good to me. And then you get all of the archive as well, and then you can sit and bake lists like I've been doing on the Warhammer 40k app, really getting to grips with it, because I hadn't really used it. I'd signed up for it, and I'd made the old one here and there, but I'm really getting used to it now, and I've got to upload all of my codex codes onto it now, which I will do eventually. But good evening, Tabletop Ready. I'll catch up on the chat. The voice of 40k. I totally get that. Not much in the way of security. It doesn't provide the clickbait to frame it that way, bro. I know. I know, I'm not clickbaiting at all. I've been over the last week, I've been really shocked by, look, all of the people who put a video out 2-3 weeks ago saying Games Workshop are evil and terrible because of their IP laws. Everybody who put a video out there said they weren't going to engage with Warhammer Plus. And then 2 weeks later, they all put videos out about how terrible Warhammer Plus is. And I was really annoyed. Because I was like, why? And Warhammer Plus is a great idea, tabletop ready. Because, and again, my final point about explaining Warhammer Plus what it is a service, right? That spans across a number of different things. It's not just one thing. And to my mind, we don't know what's going to come. We don't know what they might release. There might be a Necromunda app. There might be a Kill Team app. I would be surprised if there wasn't a Kill Team app in the works, given how much they're pushing Kill Team. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more stuff that comes out. But this basically gives you that access. I also wouldn't be surprised, guys, if Warhammer Plus, being the thing that you log into My Warhammer and upgrade it, My Warhammer now sits across every single one of their digital products. It wouldn't surprise me if Warhammer Plus, if you got something like Amazon Prime with it. Next day delivery on Warhammer. Who's to say that's not going to come in 6 to 7 or 8 months, included with your Warhammer Plus? People love to be miserable and just work each other up. I don't know. They worked to me. It worked me up. It got me annoyed. But what if there is one, Atto? Wouldn't that be awesome? And again, they might be working on that now, but if we email them now, instead of going, change your IP laws, you're terrible, we go, we'd love a Necromunda app as part of that. They might do it. Probably will. It's all coming. Let's just hope the animation will expand and not just be about Imperium. I want to see Xenos fighting Xenos or Chaos or something. I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there will be. There's that Tau one. That looked really cool. I want loads of Age of Sigmar stuff. That's what I... So, do you want to know my criticisms of Warhammer Plus? There wasn't a animation of Stormcast bashing the hell out of some Chaos idiots. There wasn't any Stormcast animation. I'm not mad about it because I watched the other ones. I didn't go on there and be like, this is rubbish because it doesn't have the thing I specifically want. I did a bunch of other stuff, which was really cool to watch. And like I said, animation, it's not my bag. It's not something that I sit and analyze frame by frame and look at the artistic style. It's not what I do. I just watch it because it's fine. I'm way more like that about, like, trust me, when that Eisenhorn series comes out, you might hear me just being like, this camera angle shot was really crap. But, you know, I'm also not going to do that because, you know, it's just, nobody needs to hear it. We're a positive gang round here, right? That's what you tune in for. The positive vibes and the, you know, you guys asking me to do stuff and me eventually caving in and doing it 2 hours into the stream. Anyway, Warhammer Plus. Fantastic idea. Gives them a great foundation. I hope that makes sense. There is new content tomorrow, which is exciting. In fact, so as I said, my criticisms of it, there wasn't any Stormcast animation. Boo. The only other criticism I had of it was there wasn't a full screen button on my Mac. That's it. That is literally it. Content was great. The idea is great. The free model? The Vindicator is worth... He's a limited boy. Like, it's the kind of thing that I would pay a lot of money. Let's skip that song because there's lyrics on it and it's distracting when I'm you know, talking. Hi, John. Triple O. Blood Angels battle report for me to enjoy tomorrow. Lovely. Can't wait for that. I'll watch that in its full. And I'll look forward to Jonathan Keeble narrating who the Blood Angels are. And that would be worth my $4.99 alone. But that Vindicare, man, that Vindicare was really good. The war boss was a really good war boss, but it's nothing compared to that Vindicare. So, you know. And yes, I know a bunch of people have said that the voucher thing is a controversy. It's not. If you look in your email inbox right now, it'll say, if you subscribe before the 31st of August, you will get a voucher for £10 in October. It says it in the email, and it says it on the website. There is no misleading there at all. Can we pause this debate while I shake up my Apothecary White? About 10 minutes, cool? Yeah, fine. We'll pause. Vindicare is the sniper, right? Yeah. It is. The one in the tower is just... I've got a Vindicare. He's somewhere. Actually, I found him the other day. Don't hit me with them negative waves so early in the morning from Warhipster's Heroes. Anyway, there you go. Warhammer Plus. Warhammer Plus, I hope, explained. I hope. That was a Warhipster Explains. We haven't done one of those for a while. Normally I do a 10 reasons why or 7 reasons why you should do this thing, but I feel like we covered that. Looks amazing, but I'm going for the Auric. Fair play, Kitaro. You're a good dude for going for... I wanted them both. But I didn't think it was sensible to subscribe to Warhammer Plus twice to get both the models. Because as I previously mentioned, I don't have a lot of money. Kitaro, I think you will really enjoy it. Warhammer Plus is early days. It will listen to what you want and produce content to match. Absolutely, Brushworks. You're doing the good work, keeping the positive vibes. But that's what we do here at Warhipster Studios. We keep it nice and positive. I need some positive music to do my little jiggle to. This is a song called Stockholm. So let's find something super positive on the Warhipster radio. Genres, moods. We want happy. Let's go with happy, and let's just go with mole. Positive vibes. Warhammer Plus, a great idea. That could have been the whole video. How much pounds is it a year, by the way? I know in euros. In a year, if you do the yearly subscription, it's $49.99 in pounds. Which, if you were to do it month by month for 12 months, would obviously be $4.99 times 12. So you save $9.98 on that. So yeah, $49.99 a year. Stop that sexy dancing, you're turning my dogs on. Your killer boss on Nash 2 vid was epic, mate. Watched it this afternoon because I'm going to have to shell out for some more contrast paints. Thank you very much. For those of you who are not a Patreon subscriber or have that video on early access, the Killer Boss on Nash 2 video is coming. I know people keep asking me about if I'm gonna do it. I've done it. Yeah, it would be £60 if you didn't if you paid for it month by month. It's the same thing as like if you pay for Amazon Prime by month rather than by year. Like it's like £79 a year, or it's like 90 quid a month if you pay for it for a month, every month for a year. Makes sense. It's just that thing of buy 10 months, get 2 months free. So, with Warhammer Plus discussed and out of the way, and we're still feeling that positive vibing energy, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna paint some Beast Snaggas. We're gonna do it. Here is my Beast Snagger. That's the one we're gonna paint. Don't do it, Guitar Head, don't it? I'm not gonna subscribe twice. I'll figure out a way of getting the Auroch. They might convict. They might tell me off. They might be like, "You've already got a subscription at this place, Mr. Hill." So, we're gonna paint a Beast Snagger. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna look at him in detail. Should we paint this one? Should we paint this boss? Should we try and figure out the scheme on the? He is a knob, isn't he? Wait. Have you got any tips on how to stay motivated when painting? Oh, I just turned up my hi-fi really loud in my ears. The volume control is by my knee, and every so often I knock it and it just goes in. Have you got any tips on how to stay motivated when painting? Do you mean motivated whilst painting or motivated to paint? Because I think they're two different things. And I have tips for both. I managed to snog a box of... Snog? I can't read. I'm terribly sorry, Sick Jeb. I managed to snag a box of Beast Snaggas last night. Was so pleased to find a box out in the wild still. Well, that's amazing if you found it out in the wild. Ben Twynham says, what I don't understand is why GW's only going after animations. If they're defending their IP, they would have to go after fan art and fan fiction as well. You can't pick and choose. Well, the thing is, I don't think they've actually gone after anyone. I think that's a lot of what people on Facebook have said. They've gone after people. They've changed the law because of... My understanding of it is that they changed the wording on the website because there was a change in some form of legislation in America, which basically they were closing a loophole by saying you can't do this. They haven't actually aggressively gone after anybody. The crucial thing is that I think if you were making tons of money from a drawing, then they might wrap you on the wrist. You can still make animations. You just can't make any money from them. You can still make fan art. And also fan fiction as well. It's something... Fan fiction is basically putting a blog title up on a thing. If somebody published a book that was Warhammer 40,000, that would be a problem. So, yeah. Like I said, they've not actually gone and sent mass cease and desist letters to everybody. That's a lot of scaremongering. That's something that hasn't happened yet. And, you know, they might do, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt that they will. I genuinely think it's a change. I think, if my understanding of it is that there was a change in legislation in the US, which meant they had to change their wording so that they weren't caught with a loophole. Which isn't as sexy as to say, you know, Games Workshop is the worst in the world. I genuinely believe that that's the thing. I'm just going to grab some paints. I'm still here. I need some brushes too. Those are generally useful. this one. And we need this one. And we need this one. I have returned with paints and brushes. And this is already set up and ready. I already have water. There's some snagger boxes in a gaming store near me. Oh, tabletop ready, my friend. You could make a pretty penny on those. Shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up. I need a picture of a Beast Snagger, actually, before I do anything else. So let's have a look. Beast Snag... Can't spell. Snaggas. I wonder if it's still there. I'll do it up here so it's not by the microphone. I wonder if it's still on the website. I love the 360-degree pictures. That would be really nice. Ah, nuts. Okay, gonna have to do it from a still image. Let's have a look at you then. Okay, so he's got plenty of skin on this guy. Right, so I shook these ones a little bit more than I normally do because my Militarum green has been sat very still for a little while. Oh, hello. We are going to be doing just like with my Cruel boys. I'm going to be starting with the 1-to-1 mix of Creed Camo and Militarum Green. Ooh. Can I request some house this week? TV show or music? I'm just being facetious. Yes, we can get some house on the go. We can try that out. Genres. It would be an electronica and dance, wouldn't it? House. Let's go with this one. Acid house. Right, here we go then. 1-to-1 mix of Militarum Green and Creed Camo over Wraithbone. Let's see what this looks like. I suspect it'll look a lot warmer than it does on Grace here. Oh, would you look at that? And that's exactly what we want. Nice, lovely, warm green. Oh, this is all flesh as well. Oh yeah, that is a whole section. And don't worry, there will be a tutorial series about this box, about the contents of this box. This is as we've done before. For example, with the demonettes and the blood letters. It's me just figuring out how I'm going to do it. I don't think it's going to be a million miles away from what I did with the Cruel Boys. However, as I say, we are doing it over Wraithbone, so it should all come out a little bit warmer. Because that's the kind of vibe I've been getting from all of the content I've seen, all of the product imagery at least, all of the new stuff. It's all just got that slightly more kind of organic, warm feel to it. The Cruel Boys definitely didn't have. They were very evil and cold, and whilst they do come from a swamp is full of life. It's full of dank, horrible life. Which Grey City, you're using lots of browns and stuff over the top of it. And some layers like we done with the Cruel Boys. Really works over Grey City, whereas over Wraithbone it makes it look a little bit too healthy. You want it to look healthy. It's a swamp. So there we go. Just make sure we get this all over all of his skin. His bicep is skin. Yes. It's not leather. Yes. Oh, and we've missed a bit of his neck. Do that. There we go. Get under there. And we shall check out the chat. Just one hot minute. What is that? Interesting. Ah! You can act out the episodes if you like. Oh, of House. I could give it a go. I wouldn't be very good, but I could give it a go. Hey, Ward, do you prefer contrast to base paint? If so, why? Yes, I absolutely. Contrast paints are so much better than base paints because contrast paints mean you don't have to shade anything, and you also don't have to highlight anything if you don't want to. You can just go... Basically, if I want it to be... Right, see that? See that skin? If I wanted to do this quickly and not kind of, you know, take it to the next level, that's done. That skin is done. If I was doing this with base paints, I would have to be about to prepare to do my second layer of base paint over the top of that. That's why I prefer contrast paints. You just get so much more depth out of them. Base paints are fine, but I just love contrast paints so much. I think they're awesome. Mikey's Wargaming, sorry, put the full stop in the wrong place there. Mikey's Wargaming has become a member. Thank you so much, Mikey's Wargaming. I blow a kiss to you. Never done that to anyone else before. That was weird. I just felt right. I don't know why. How would you paint Zangor flesh? This is a very good question. Mikey's Wargaming. I hope I will be able to answer it very soon. I'm just going to do this until the streamer's caught up with the fact that I'm holding Hexfire to my face. It appears that it's about to. There we go. I will be able to answer you very shortly with this. Because I look at them and I see a lot of conflicting product photography. There's a really nice blue version there, or there's the very nice pale blue version. So yes, I think Space Wolves Grey, if you want a pale blue Zangor, you could just do Space Wolves Grey all over it and you're done. The flesh is so recessed and stuff that literally you can just Space Wolves Grey and you'll be good to go. The other thing that you could do is you could do Space Wolves Grey, and then if you wanted to really blue it up, you could do Talisar Blue. But I will know for sure, and I will give you a 100% answer once I've cracked on with the Hexfire set. But obviously, we've got Beast Snaggas to do first, and various other things that are coming. I heard you actually hate contrast paints. Don't tell everyone, Tabletop Ready. That's not fair. I adore contrast paints. Not quite as much as Alice, but it's close. I know we've moved on from the Warhammer Plus debate, but if you wanted back issues of White Dwarf, then they would be $4.99 each, surely. I just signed up. Oh, amazing, Philip Eagles. Yeah, you can buy them individually, can't you, from Black Library for $4.99 each. Thinking about painting my demon prints and spawn the same colour. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think... Because if you look at the sorcerer in that one... Yeah, the Zangor Shaman on the disc. He's like a pale blue. And if you look on the website at Zangors, there are some of them are quite a pale blue, and some of them they go for a darker blue. The pale one, I know, I just 100% I can tell you that is definitely Space Wolves Grey. I'm just waiting for that to dry before we whack the Plague Bearer flesh over it. Oh, hi, Flyan. Anyone else stuck up on the Imperium magazine? I haven't this time around. I will go into Forbidden Planet regularly to see if there are any good issues once it's in full swing. Like when the Gilliman issue comes, I'll get those. Definitely. Well, that's it, Mikey's Wargaming. If you're gonna combine, let's say Zangors with, let's say if you're gonna combine Thousand Suns with Tzeentch Demons, blue horrors are very blue, and you want them to be very blue. Tabletop ready. I enjoyed your battle report, by the way. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. If anybody here wants to do a battle report and you've got an idea for a fun sort of 40k Fight Club style thing, get in touch with me or drop them in here below. Worth picking up issue 5. Which one's issue 5? What's going to be in issue 5? Basically, guys, the reason I didn't get the Imperium magazine this time around is I've basically got the contents of it spare in the cupboard to my left for Space Marines. And I didn't want a ton of Necrons that I'm never going to get around to painting. You are nearly ready for some Plague Bearer flesh. The interesting thing is this white, isn't it? Oh, it's the exclusive miniature, is it? Oh, okay. Foehammer always have a good rundown of the issues. Awesome. What I probably will do is if they do another Mortal Realms magazine, I will probably subscribe to that. Because that was dope. So I think we'll do the Plague Bearer flesh first. But I'm also going to grab one. Wildwood, come to us meeting. Plague Bearer flesh. In the Gorgon Templar. Here we go then. Plague Bearer flesh. We're now going to put this all over the skin, and that's just going to add that extra warmth in there, and it's going to look awesome. Just like that. I love this green recipe for the skin. I was thinking of getting Imperium. I did for Mortal Realms, but it's a bit of a pain and expensive to get to Belgium. Plus 10 volumes got lost with the Brexit thing, which I wasn't happy with. Oh, yeah. Maybe wait until. Yeah, that's not great. I'm sorry that happened to you, Kataro. Mr. Penal. On your Space Wolves vid, when you used the contrast medium in rust grey, did you use a wet palette? When I tried it, I found it was so thin. Maybe I thinned too much. Maybe you thinned just a little bit too much. I don't use a wet palette. No. You can always cut out like one part. But the idea with the rust grey bit is that it is supposed to be so thin that it does act as that glaze to just smooth out any of the problems, but like also enrich the colour of the Space Wolves grey. So yeah, you do want it to be really thin. You don't want it to be like a typical. It's not like a typical base layer. It's not like a typical layering up. It is meant to glaze, as it were. My wife and I run an online business, and we had to turn off European sales. Was just too much hassle after Brexit. Ah, boo! I'm sorry, sick Jeb. Lizzie Lies is here. Hey, Lizzie Lies, how you doing? And Russ Matthew says you are the Harry Potter of contrast paint. Thank you. Should I come on stream with a contrast painted lightning bolt scar on my forehead? Should I do that in the future? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? So next up, we want to do the trousers. That's what I was angling for, and that's going to be 2-to-1 Wildwood Gore Grunter. Do. A bit more of that Wildwood. The first one wasn't very big. So that's 2. You're a contrast wizard, Harry. This looks very tasty over Wraithbone, I have to say. A weird little hair there for some reason. That's a tasty brown, don't you reckon, guys? My fine, just trying to get back into the school routine. I'm also waiting for this damned kill team to arrive. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. It's not going to help you, but mine has arrived. It's sat downstairs. No, Bob Ross was a bad lad. Watch the documentary on him. Ooh, well, now I don't want to. How often do you get through your paints? I'm slowly rebuilding my collection after a long break from the hobby. My base and layer paints I don't get through very quickly, but my contrast paints I get through quite quickly because I use them every single day. The two I get through the most are Black Templar and Basilicanum and Grey. Oh, and Blood Angels Red, I get through that very quickly. I seem to use that all the time, almost every single day. I get through those probably on a sort of every 2 months. I have to buy a new one of those. It's pretty good, but I paint all day every day. I spend more money on paints and supplies than I do models. Ah, yes, well that's what ends up happening. Am I... As if butter would not melt in his mouth. I spend almost too much on miniatures, never mind supplies. Yeah, well, I'm the same. Again, huge backlog. For some reason, I feel less guilty about buying supplies. Well, exactly, yeah. My supplies add up every single time. I'll go in for 1 pot of paint. I'll come out with some tufts and 3 pots of paint and some glue. Am I the only one who misreads Beast Snaggas as Beast Shaggers? You are probably not the only one, Philip. John Ryan Philip. Philip John Ryan. I've now got all of the contrast paints. Josh should really get commission from GW for it. I wish. I would love that. That would be fantastic for me. Give this Wildwood a shake. Games Workshop should do an affiliate program. That would be a very good idea for them. Well, no, it would be a very good idea for me, for them to do. Particularly if I could get one of them sweet, sweet affiliate codes. Right, now this might not be dark enough on its own to get the effect that I want. So I'm going to try it on a slightly smaller strap. This one up here. No, we'll do it on this one. Yes, no, I don't think it's quite dark enough. Maybe it is. Wildwood on its own. Maybe just do two layers of wildwood. Just quite a thick layer, actually, to be fair. Yeah, that's the kind of tone I'm after. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's perfect. I just want it to be that bit darker. No, it is. I'll answer your questions in just a minute. Let me do this last belt. Oh, we missed a little bit just there. And that looks pretty good. Right. Wrist. Where that's come from. You fools, GW doesn't listen to good ideas. They do eventually. I have them all too and I just look at them separate. Oh. Yeah, they do that from time to time. But I mean, I use mine every day, so they're pretty much always constantly shaken. More serious question, ever considered scale 75? Kind of has the same consistency as layer paints, I find, and the mattness looks sharp. I need to basically get hold of every single paint in the world, but again, I don't have the money, because I'd love to test scale 75, Vallejo, Tamiya, all of them. And there's a number of other brands that you guys have recommended to me as well. I should need to check out, like Monument. Monument? Yeah, it is Monument. At the moment, I seem to be in a building mode rather than painting. Never used to spend time on the basing, but found a love for cheap filler and cat litter, much to the wife's amusement. Lizzie, you've asked a question there that has been held for review. I'm not sure whether to show it because of the thing. Wasn't Scale 70 involved in some huge Neo something thingy, as well as a super shady background? I don't know. I think you might be thinking of the AK Interactive thing that happened, but somebody will tell. Somebody will know. So nervous with the paint pot sitting open like that. I would knock it over for sure. I'm sat so far back, even when I stretch my arm out, I'm really just touching it usually. But yes, I'm very careful not to. I also like to live dangerously. Thanks, man. Used cat litter. Oh my. I'm sure it's not used cat litter. Mr. Penal asks, thanks man, sorry, same topic. How many layers of the thinned rust grey would you say, or just until you're happy with the colour and the look? Just until you're happy with the colour and the look. I generally find it only takes about one just to smooth out the Space Wars. Sometimes you might use little touch-ups here and there, but it generally only needs one of that lovely glaze at the end. I unearthed Space Crusade in my mother's loft a few months back. 11-year-old me had slapped enamel paint on the minis. Ugh, oh no. Oh no. Things that fall out of my head. Just signed up to Warhammer Plus. I picked the Auric. I won't paint either of them, so if you want him, George, we can sort out something when he arrives. Hey, I was first, says Kataro. Let's all give him our Aurics. What's the plan for the loincloths on this lot? Army colour or just some dirty York cloth? I will change it up because they've got some really nice ones. They've got yellow on a couple of the smooth ones, and they've got some like leather hides as well, so I'll probably do that. I need mine to keep the grots in line. I reckon you could do a wicked squig buggy in contrast. Be pretty popular video seeing as they're all the rage in the meta. Well, message ADR Wargaming and tell him you want to see me do squig buggies, and then he can send me a squig buggy to paint for him. I'd be interested to see Josh's take on Emperor's Children personally. Chaos Emperor's Children or Emperor's Children? Because, my friend, if you wish to see my take on Emperor's Children, here is my take on Emperor's Children. A loyalist and a traitor. Going back to the used cat litter, that's the best for the Death Guard bases. Yes, that's what I've heard. Used cat litter. They did promote World War II German models at some point, which was fine until they started offering fascist coins as rewards. Oh, I see. Okay. You sure must have been told from the sources. It's only false sources. Yeah, Scale 75 in relation to my comment, though AK Retro did do that pretty tasty advertisement. Yeah, maybe they did. I don't know enough about it. I will never not be triggered by the Saul Tarvitz incident. Oh yes, using Slanesh Grey on him. But yeah, there you go. That's Emperor's Children in Loyalist format, and that's Emperor's Children in Chaos format. So you can check out Fabius Bile tutorial, and you can check out the Saul Tarvitz tutorial for how to paint my version of Emperor's Children. However, we could always do a vibrant pink one as well. You'll probably get demonetized now for showing porn on YouTube. Please don't promote. Please don't report me for that. I didn't show any. Just put them back in the cabinet. Very full cabinets of plenty. There you go. Go on, Fabius. You want to nestle in there. There you go. They are the dog's bollocks, Josh. Thank you very much. And always traitor in Emperor's Children. Yeah, we could do some vibrant pink ones at some point. I have just finished some Demonettes, which you'll see on YouTube very soon. Very, very soon. Right, this Beast Snagger, how's he getting on? Why am I looking at it on the screen when I should look at it like this? Yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's getting there. He's coming along. What I need to figure out... This, my friends, is Magos Purple. You're going to need tons of it. This, my friend, is a pint of Magos Purple. So they all have a bit of yellow on them, don't they? So that would be this little loincloth here and back there. Oh, I see. I now understand. Lore of the Alpha Legion. Yeah, we can do those eventually. I am going to do all of the Chaos Legions. It's just finding the time. It'll be something that I'll almost definitely do when we get closer to thingy. Codex Chaos being released. So it's quite a pleasing dark. It's like a dark pink, isn't it? How to do that? I have an idea. I think it's the same colour as my Silas Beast Bow video. Looking at the video. Looking at the video? Looking at the image. I think that would be the perfect colour for those. Hey Sven! How you doing? Like a 3-to-1. It's a shame a friend of yours wants to paint Mementos straight up. Oh, good lord. That's very brave. It's not quite that colour, it's slightly darker than that. Maybe it's like a... Hi Jack Flaps. How are you? I'm going to try something. Because that's what we're doing tonight, we're trying things. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try a couple of parts of the Lupus Pink to 1 part Flesh Terrors Red to get that really nice like kind of burgundy colour they've got scattered about them. Oh, actually, to be fair, on this one there's a little bit... No, we'll do the yellow first. We'll close the Flesh Terrors Red. Tonight, Jack Flaps, I am painting a Beast Snagger. I'm figuring out the Beast Snagger scheme. Hey Josh, you planning on doing a tutorial for the new Kill Team box? Sorry if it's been asked already. Yes, I am going to be doing videos on the new Kill Team box, 100%. So we've got some and in yellow here. That's going to now just go over this section just there. And the pistol. Like that. Same again on the other side. Yeah, so I'll be doing Krieg and I'll be doing the Commandos as well. And I will also be doing the terrain. So we've got bits of yellow there. And we've got a bit of yellow just here. Is there a bit more? Yeah, there's just a little tiny bit just in there. Like that. And then what we've got is we've got a small bit just on the tips of these bits up here. Like that much. Just put out a little bit more. A little bit on there. A little bit on there. And a little bit. There as well, like that. So I'm just trying to copy the box art. Well, piece of art that I've got in front of me. So then what we'll do, whilst we're waiting for that to dry, is we will tackle this white, which I think is like a sort of warm thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this wildwood mix, where I take, what brush is this? It's a small layer brush. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 of wildwood. Mix that in all nice. Get that nice and thin. And then we're going to put that over all the areas that we want to be white. So we've got areas like this bit here. Like that. And we've got the skull. Up there like that. We'll do it on the back as well. Like that. We've got, I think it's like the casing on the claw here as well. That bit there. We'll do the grey as well. Why not? I'll just cover over that with a metallic. Just like this. And we've got this underside here, there, like that. As well. And then we've got the shoulder pad, which is all of this. But not the teeth or the under bit. Like that. Anyway, oh yeah, got the kind of spines along here. Doesn't matter, there's a bit of green on there because we clean that up when we're going to do the final layer over these bits. like that. So those are all the bits I think I'm going to have as white. Yeah, that feels good to me. Do you find that you get quite a shiny finish if you put a large proportion of contrast medium into paint? Yes, sometimes you can, unless you have really thoroughly mix it in. If there's like if there's too much medium and not enough kind of mixing of the paint, you will get a slightly shinier finish. Which can just be immediately matted out by going over it with like some Lamian medium or something if you've got a perfect colour, but it's just it's just a bit too shiny. I'm trying to guide away with yellow with difficult to paint and all that, but I said if we both agree on a faction to paint and a certain chapter, clan, etc., I'd help him throughout. Yeah, that's a great idea, Lizzie. I'm very well, thank you, Sven. Also, on the topic of Lamentus, have you ever thought about making guides for the more obscure chapters of Warhipster? I have, yeah. There's something that's it's in the pipeline. Can we see your palette? You can. Do you want me to show you it as I'm mixing stuff when I'm mixing stuff? We can do that. That's not a problem. Let's do a slightly cleaner side. Like that. It's a very well loved palette at the moment, this one. Going about that far, that should be fine. Yeah, like Lamenters are a funny one. They're one of those ones which is just like, it's like yellow but harder because it's a real pale yellow. There's no warmth in it. So you could do it over Grace here, but you'd almost have to thin it down a little bit just to kind of get that real kind of washed out past the yellow that the Lamenters are. Do you find... Yeah, evening all. Good evening, Chewy. Anyone have any idea for a Grey Knight librarian? How do you make the conversion? That's a good question. I feel like the Voldus miniature is a pretty good place to start. From what I could figure out, the armor seems to be a Rakarth base and maybe pallid flesh, a lot of layered. Yeah, that's kind of why I've gone for that thinned down Wildwood, because thinned down Wildwood like that with the 6 parts contrast medium is basically Rakarth flesh. That's the finish you get, as you can tell here on this model. Just there like that. I am going to need to get hold of some black in a minute. Is that my black? Yes. It was over here all along. I'm going to use this black to do his boots. He does have some metal on his boots, so we just want this for the black leather, really. So we just want this around here. On the sole of the boot as well, like that. And then I think for this guy, I'm also going to do the Black Templar. No. What I am going to do I'm going to use some Pterodon turquoise first. Any tips for fading pink contrast into purple? Keeps coming out darker in the mixed area. Let me just do this. I'm just going to get some Pterodon turquoise on the kind of up here. I should explain. It's going to look horribly vibrant against the rest of the model at first, but we are going to go over it with black so we get a nice dark. Turquoisey skin. I need to be dead careful at this point. There we go. Any tips to remove them without ruining work done? Oh, Mick. I don't have answers for you. Removing a mold line is without ruining the work is very, very difficult. Unless you can get like a really fine blade, and just very gently shave it off, like very, very, very gently shave off just the mold line, and then you'll have to replace the paint over the top of the mold line. That's annoying. Oh, I'm sorry that's happened, Nick. Yellow is an airbrush army to me. Yeah, doing a whole yellow army. It's something I want to do, but maybe when I get around to doing Savage or, Hard Boys. What is Warhipster explaining about Warhammer Plus? We did that at the beginning of the stream. We talked about Warhammer Plus and how absolutely fantastic it is and why you shouldn't listen to everybody telling you how terrible it is. Any tips for fading pink contrast into purple? Keeps coming out darker in the mixed area. Yeah, so I think the easiest way of fading pink into purple is to basically start by painting the whole section the pink with contrast paint. So doing the whole thing with the volupus pink. And then what you do is you use the Shaiish, but once that's dry, you then use the Shaiish purple or whichever purple you're using to like put it on the area that you want. Wash the brush, and then with the clean brush, smooth out that area just by going back and forth over it, just kind of like that, just a little bit, just to feather that out. I do a lot of that on the Gnash Tooth video, which is coming soon. If you haven't seen it, if you can't see it, battle damage it is. Yeah, battle damage also is a great way of covering pesky mold lines. Liking the music, though I find orcs are best painted to System of a Down. Tunes are banging. We can change the tunes. If people want me to change the tunes, we can change to a different style. I'm more than happy to do that. think I am going to need some thinned down Wraithbone. Are you drinking full fat Coke? No, I am drinking Coke Zero. In their cunning way of making it look like it's full fat Coke by having a red can with black writing rather than white writing. Oh, I missed a bit with the black. Oh no, I haven't missed a bit. That's going to be silver. That filmy guitar tune from Ata? What? Should we look at rock and roll? Have you ever done the Pepsi challenge? Can I tell the difference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi? Yes, I can. Should we go for... Should we go for Naughty's Rock? Should we see what that sounds like? That folky guitar tune from A Tale of Many Warhipsters. Oh. Oh, I think I know the one you mean. Do you have any more battle reports on the horizon? I really enjoyed your first one. I've got ideas. I got some ideas. Doesn't it just? I do have some ideas from extra battle reports. I always want them to be slightly fun. And yeah, I need people to volunteer to want to come down and play them. I do apologise if that's too loud. I'll turn it down a bit. I'm going to do AOS, yes. Again, I need volunteers to want to come and play Age of Sigmar. I want to do... so we've got the 40k Fight Club, but I also want to do the Age of Sigmar Arena. Come down and challenge the being, the mighty being that is Kragnos. He's starting to look pretty cool. I'm just waiting for that back bit to dry, but we can do a bit of this now. What we do is we take the Black Templar, 1, 2. I'm gonna do like a 2-to-1 mix. So that was 2 brush strokes of Black Templar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just thin that Black Templar down just a little smidge. Put that over the top of the Terranon turquoise. Maybe we add some more black. Maybe it's just a 1-to-1. Is the colour I'm after? Yes. Slightly better. I like that as a colour. That's nice. Where's the hip-hop style song you had on your early videos? Once I have a Sylvaneth army, I will challenge. Excellent. Come take on my Oryx. I better call it a night, same time next week. Of course, Sick Jab. See you later, buddy. Thank you very much for hanging out. Are you going to paint the big vulture when that's up? I would like to, yes. If I can afford it when it comes out, I will paint it. Really, was the soundtrack lifted from thing? No. It's literally whatever's coming up on Epidemic Sound. What do you think of my Beast Snaggas so far? I think it looks pretty cool. What is the hip-hop style song you had on your early videos? Have you got an example of a video? And I can probably find it. Doing Crusade could be cool. Very much so. Right, let's try and do that burgundy colour that I was thinking about doing. Because I think it could be pretty cool. We do... Alright, Martin. 1, 2, 3 parts Volupus pink. And then 1 part Flush Terra's red. Let's put that in there. No, it's too red. I don't want it to be red. So I think I need shiny purple. Do that again. 1, 2, 3. Picture back. Okay. So if we do this, but then rather than do then do a red over the top of it. Perfect.
You're drifting away and the wounds have turned into scars. It's tender, it's dark, and it's breaking my heart.
And then what I did on the Astral Templars video is I did a pink over the top. So I'm not going to do that on this one, I'm going to do a red over the top. Give me the exact tone I'm after. And then I just need to do a little line of this like reddish mix that I've got here going across. There, like that. And then when the red goes over the top of this purpley bit, it'll look spot on. There we go, pretty pleased with that. So now the thing to do is to get the silver on there. Can watch you playing different people building up your army. Yeah, I mean, like, I would like to do that. Again, it's just I live in Cheltenham and finding people to do that with regularly. Because I'm growing my demons, obviously. And my demonettes, my bloodletters, and Bellical. Is this the final week for Tail? Yes, it is. Hashtag Tail. This is the deadline week for anybody involved in the Tale of Many Warhipsters. You have until Saturday, midnight on Saturday, to get your entries in for Chapter 3 of A Tale of Many Warhipsters. I've got to call it for tonight as well. Enjoy your evening and we'll catch you all next week. Cheers, Josh. Thank you very much, Ross. Thank you very much. Things that fall out of my head. Go check him out on YouTube and Instagram. He's an absolute legend. Thank you very much. Oh no, my brush. I don't need your brush. Get back up here. Cool. So these are orcs, which means they almost definitely don't have clean metal. So we're going to go with Iron Warriors. That's what we're going to do. This Iron Warriors pot is very nearly spent. Just whilst we wait for that to dry. Get some silver on there then. A very naughty style song. Can we get a close-up of this snagger, please? Yes. Oh, it's the same song again.
Afraid to turn out the lights. Is there something you're scared of? What's there out in the dark? Make sure to keep all your windows locked. Do you surrender? You try to stay awake. These walls you can't escape. Here's one for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out of here. Bet you can't look the other way. Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out, truth or dare. Get me out, take me anywhere but here. Oh, anywhere but here. Wanting something good to come, waiting for things to run away from. Are you just hiding? Yeah, walking into the fire, talking like you never die, like you're immortal. You try to stay awake. These walls you can't escape. Here's one for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out of here. Bet you can't look the other way. Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out, truth or dare. Get me out, take me anywhere but here. Here's one for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out of here. Bet you can't look the other way. Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out, truth or dare. Get me out, take me anywhere but here. Oh, anywhere but here. Oh, anywhere but here. Oh, anywhere but here. Anywhere but here.
I swear that last song had the same lyrics as a Mayday Parade song.
Hey, it's not the same. If I close my eyes, maybe I'll feel you again. Hey, relight the flame. Draw it out with your hands, cover every inch of my pain. I've crossed to the other side. I turn my promises into lies. Go until the morning light. Falling in your arms tonight. Strange, but it feels so right. So right, so right. I know tonight will never last. I feel how it's fading fast. Two hearts from a cloudy glass. Never last.
Short visit today, early night required. Good night, all tunes were rocking. No, you're very welcome. As always, awesome content, loving the vibes and positive nature of this community. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Philip. Don't you mean Warbox? No, I'm going to have to call it as well. Thanks, Warhipster, as always, for fun stream. You are very welcome. Tabletop ready. Very, very welcome. The one from the Venari Dawn Riders. Oh, Martin Eastman. Thank you very much. I will, as soon as I will just do this little bit of silver here. And I will go and find that song for you.
I've crossed to the other side. I turn my promises into lies. Go until the morning light. Falling in your arms tonight.
Oh no, I missed a bit. With our probably next. Probably still got some down here. Right, let's go music hunting. Also, Martin, thank you very much for the 5. That is very, very generous of you.
Strange, but it feels so right. So right, so right.
Venari Dawn. Okay, I need to pause the royalty-free rock music. Two hearts drawn on cloudy nights? Is that what that's called? Anyway, let's have a look. Let me just quickly listen to it.
Appointment. I'm here to help you add.
We're painting the Venari Dawn, right?
Yes, I have to watch my own videos. Now, I do remember this one. Right. Doopy doopy doo doo doo. We'll be able to find it. Nope. 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 It's that one, isn't it? It's like Inception. Hipception. So this is a song called Turn Up, Let's Go. And you can access this from the YouTube Studio audio library. So it's a song by Jeremy Blake. And I will drop
Hello.
Where does that go? Yeah, you can get this song from the YouTube Studio audio library. So if you have a channel, go to YouTube Studio and go down to audio library, and it's there. It's called Turn Up, Let's Go. There you go. You're very welcome. Should we go for a bit of a hip hop mood, shall we? Genres. Hip hop. And we want happy hip hop. John Triplo, thank you very much for the 5. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. Absolutely. It's amazing. Let's go with Find the Good. This is a song called Find the Good by Sarah the The Instrumentalist. And I get all my music from Epidemic Sound. If you want a link to Epidemic Sound, I have a referral link here, which I can drop there. Let me know if you can see it. So you click on that link and sign up. It costs an amount. This will go towards the vulture. Absolutely, John. I'll put that in the locker for the vulture when he drops. And drop he shall. Soon, I should imagine. Fin some more Iron Warriors down at this rate. What time is it? 10:15. Right, I should really just respond to a text message. Well, yes. Didn't quite get the full thing done, but you can see where it's going. So we might continue this go next week because I've got a few things to do in between now. So I won't paint any more Beast Snagger tonight. I'm going to head off now because it's 10:15. We usually do this for about 2 hours and 2 hours and a bit. But there we go. That's our Beast Snagger so far. I think it looks pretty cool. There's a couple of things left to do. We've got obviously more of the silver to do, and I'll probably finish that off tomorrow, and then I'll do the rest of the mini next week, including all the highlights and things. Effectively, there's just the silver to go on, and then there's a couple of layers, and then obviously highlights. But yeah, he's looking pretty awesome so far. I think I'm really pleased with this scheme. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Martin. Thank you so much, John, for the donations to the channel. That's really, really generous of you. Thank you so much. And also thank you very much to our new member, Mikey's Wargaming. It really warms my heart. Thank you so much. It's very generous. I'm not able to do this full time without you guys, so honestly, You guys are amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed that one. Next week, I'll see if I can convince Alice to do the Pepsi challenge with me. She might have a go. She might do it. But I'll come up with something to discuss next week as well. But yeah, Warhammer Plus. It's fantastic. Beast Snaggas. Really fun to paint. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Yeah, happy wargaming. Have a great week. See you around, guys.